So if you guys can't tell, I'm trying something different today. We have video. Um, so I know that I don't always post to my social media as much as I should, and I'm always telling people post to your social media, engage with your audience. This is a two-way conversation. It's not just you post and you tell people to do stuff when you need something, but why would people follow you if they're not getting anything out of you? So I figured we would try something different this week. And we have video podcasting. Now, I was going to put up my backdrop and be like, look at me, I'm official, blah, blah, blah. But really, I'm just serving y'all Yitties and Peloton. That's what I'm serving y'all today. So if you're listening to this on the podcast platforms that you typically listen to it on, I truly appreciate you. Keep listening to it there. But also, I am going to be posting the video along with this podcast on our YouTube channel. I often reference it, but I have not updated my YouTube channel since I was doing my web series. So I'm just trying new things. We're just trying new things. Y'all. Also, can I say that I misnumbered the last episode? Like, it's me constantly living up to the title of the podcast for me, and it's just like, ma'am, don't you want better for yourself? Because you should. Like, you're always talking about luxury and all these things, but what about better for yourself? Do you want better for you? And speaking of me doing video with this podcast, I was going to do my makeup, but y'all know I was in Mexico a few weeks ago, so I don't have any makeup that matches my current skin color. And because this was a spur of the moment thing, I didn't even think to go and buy foundation to match my skin color. Are we going to talk about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock? I mean, I know everybody's been talking about it, but are we going to talk about it? I just want to say, didn't I say last week, if you haven't heard the episode, go listen to the episode titled It Gets the People Going. You're joking, but everybody isn't laughing. And I think enough people have done think pieces on this that we don't need to do one more. But I will also say, watching the conversation around this incident, like, respectability politics is eating some of y'all asses alive. It's just, eating some of y'all alive. I couldn't be me, and I hate it for you. I don't operate in like, what if they see us acting up? They don't care when we see them acting up. Like, stop. Y'all need to stop it. Y'all gotta stop. Respectability politics is weighing some of y'all down. And also, can I just say, we have all operated from a bad place. Like, the people saying like, oh, I can't believe you're supposed to be able to control yourself. Self-control. We've all operated from a bad place. And I'm thinking, or I'm hoping that most of us would not like to be identified or pigeonholed or held to a bad moment. It's really give human people human grace. It really, yeah. But also, can I say, this is also why I don't talk about people, celebrity or otherwise, on this podcast, because it would be so easy to get into the fray of it and be like, oh, I'm getting views, I'm getting listeners, I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this hot topic, but at what cost? Like, you can't do things to people and tell them how to react. We would hope people want to react in a certain way, but you really can't do things to people and tell them how to react. And let me mention, in case, some of you don't know me personally, I lived in Philly, in North Philly, for a brief period of time when I was in school. And yeah, it's very on brand. If you're from Philly, tell me if I'm wrong. I know I'm not, but tell me if I'm wrong. Don't let me talk about your city, but it's very on brand. Also, I feel really bad for everyone involved, Chris Rock included. That moment had to be very humiliating, especially in the day and age that we live in, where everything lives on forever, everything lives on the internet, and it just had to be humiliating. And I'm a person who doesn't thrive in chaos or embarrassment or humiliation, so I wouldn't have preferred for such a thing to happen, but go off, bro. Go off. I really hope that whatever reconciliation needs to happen happens, because it's unfortunate to see. It's just unfortunate to see from an audience standpoint, a human standpoint, just knowing that there's things going on that we will never know, and everybody's doing think pieces. Also, how did this become Jada's fault? I said I wasn't going to talk about this an extended period of time, but those are my 2 cents. Unless the worst thing you've ever done has been recorded, or the worst thing that has ever happened to you has ever been recorded and there for the world to do think pieces on and comment on, pipe down. Drake said it best. Pipe down. Pipe it down, okay? So, that was a long intro, but with all that said, welcome to Janky Voice Notes with Shay, Season 2, episode Gettin Jiggy Wit It. I do not know how you got here, but I am very excited that you are here. And in case you need to find me again, you can find me on the website, shayiconic.com. You can find me on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at shayiconic. You can find me on Snapchat at shayiconic.c. And you can find me on YouTube at Shay Iconic Music. And that's where you'll find this video podcast as well today. We talk about a plethora of topics, but mostly we focus on self-care, relationships, entrepreneurship, business, and just a bunch of things, because we are dynamic. This podcast is dynamic, and we show up the best way that we can. So, welcome to Janky Voice Notes with Shay. Woo! That was a long intro, wasn't it? That was a long intro. But what I will say this week, we have the podcast note. You do not have to worry about me rustling around looking for it. We have the podcast note. And yeah. You know what I want to talk about this week? I want to talk about the fact that people really have to stop speaking nevers over other people's lives. It's like, just because you couldn't fathom your life or imagine your life at a level of blessing that people aspire to be and are just so sure is going to happen in their lives, doesn't mean it's not going to happen for those people. And case in point, I remember one organization that I worked at, I was talking to the finance director, and we were talking about policy and politics, all the things you probably shouldn't talk about at work, but we talked about policy. And she was like, yeah, I told my neighbor said he voted for this certain thing because he wants to protect his money. And I told him, well, you're not wealthy. And he goes, I might be. And I told him, you're never going to be rich. Says who? Sis, says who? A day can change your life. A day really could change your life. And you have to stop speaking nevers on other people's lives just because you think it's impossible in yours. Anything's possible. I like to believe it is. I don't know if that's truly true, but I feel like it is possible to be wealthy. It is possible to end up in a better situation than you're currently in. Anything's possible. That pendulum swings one side to the other, and you really have to stop speaking nevers over other people's lives. So I asked y'all this question like 2 or 3 episodes ago, and you didn't answer me, so I'm just over here making executive decisions. I said this week that I was going to stop doing TV reviews because they sound crazy. When I listen back, I'm like, girl, you really are just telling these people a stream of your consciousness. Like, you're just out here saying whatever good thoughts come to your mind. You really, truly are. But since I believe that this was the season finale of Bel-Air, we love Bel-Air, getting jiggy with it. No. Focus. Focus. Sorry. Yeah, so this was the season finale of Bel-Air. I was like, you can't start something and not finish it, even if you did start it in the middle of the damn season. So this is, I think, our last full-length TV review on the podcast. We did The Gilded Age, and I did Bel-Air, or I do Bel-Air, and this is the last one for Bel-Air. But I think I'm just going to continue to write them on the website. So if you're interested in seeing my TV reviews, what I'm thinking about, whatever it is I'm watching, please visit the website, and I will try to do TV reviews. Although I said I would only do TV reviews for P-Valley, I clearly am a lying ass liar. So without further ado, let's get into this TV review. What I will say before I start just going off my stream of consciousness, what I will say is I feel like Bel-Air has been done so well. And the first season particularly has been done well because they touched on all of the iconic scenes that were nostalgic to us who watched the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I think because they were able to get those iconic scenes out of the way, like their possibilities for season 2 and beyond, like they're endless. Because it's like, all right, we did the why my dad don't love me, even though that's not how that scene went, and the way that this scene went in Bel-Air was fucking dope. But you know, we touch base on all the things that holds us near and dear to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Except I didn't see the dancing. Remember when he was doing the dancing with Ashley? I didn't see anything akin to that in this season. So maybe we'll touch on it, or maybe they're like using this first season to bridge the gap and then going beyond to really be the show that they want it to be. So here are my TV reviews, because you know why? You gotta see it through, my boy. You gotta see it through. I gotta get off of TikTok because I am literally at this point a walking, talking TikTok sound, like the music, all of it. But okay, here we go. So at this point, I think they really are just trying to trigger Colton. Like, where's his painting? Ma'am, you gonna paint your whole nephew and not your son? I know, well, I don't know because I was never really good at painting or drawing or stuff like that. But I know it's like you kind of have to go where your inspiration leads you, but you ain't inspired by your firstborn. That's not his firstborn. You ain't inspired by your first son, your only son, your child. He said it's your child, and it really messed me up. Why do y'all come here? Y'all come here for me to act like this, and I'm gonna keep acting like this. So yeah, where's Carlton's painting? I am super proud of Carlton because he was like, yeah, no, I'm not jealous at all. But yeah, anyway, look at me the way that Jazz looks at Hillary. Also, Hillary, don't look at Jazz like that because you just introduced him as your cousin's friend. Like, y'all, you know, because just last week you was telling him to do the breakfast in bed thing at the little bungalow hotel. So check your jealousy. No, I'm just playing. I don't know why Yamakra sends me, but every time somebody calls Uncle Phil Yamakra, I'm like, hee hee ha ha yeah. Also, I cracked up at, I ain't never had no scallop. So sir, how'd you know it was a scallop? I mean, I know there's things. I know how to visually identify things that I haven't had as well, but I just thought it was funny. I ain't never had no scallop. Okay, Hillary and Jazz, y'all cute. I like it. Jazz out here kicking knowledge to Hillary. I'm with it. Be strategic. I need to strategize my ass out of these 400 followers. I need to strategize my ass out of my 400 followers to a partnership, but it's not about me. It's about this TV review. And here goes Michael Ealy being a menace. He's just a menace. Every time I see him in every show and every movie and everything, Michael Ealy a goddamn menace. He's probably a really nice guy in real life, but he's a goddamn menace. And he walks on screen and I just see mayhem. I just see fineness and mayhem, fineness and mayhem, fineness and mayhem, which is how a lot of these men are showing up. Viv, why do you really just want to double dutch into chaos? It's like she likes to dabble on it and then like, I don't know what this is. I don't know why this happened to me. You think Phil will be mad? Yes. Sit your ass down. Also, when I saw that scene of the Will's car pulling out and another car pulling in, I just knew that was Lou. You couldn't tell me it wasn't Lou. And by chance, by fact, and absolutely, it was Lou. Also, okay, guys, it wasn't Will Smith, the Will Smith that ended up being Bel-Air Will Smith's father, but Marlon does play the hell out of a bad guy. I just want to say that Marlon plays the hell out of a bad guy. Did you see him in the Aretha Franklin movie? Marlon doesn't get the credit he deserves as a dramatic actor. Like, yes, he's a great comedian. He comes from a great family of comedians and just great business and entertainment people, but you can really see the work that Marlon has put into being a dramatic actor. And also, his TV show Marlon was really funny. A few of his Netflix movies are really funny as well. So, yeah. Marlon, get your coin and get your just due. Also, Jeffrey Petty. Y'all know I love Jeffrey because he fine. He wasn't even on screen. They said his name and I was like, damn, he fine. I'm just living in the memory of his fineness. Fine as hell. But he petty. He petty. He petty. You gonna tell that man his son need him? I wonder if he told him that when he first found out the information about him or when he was fired. And then he was like, I'm gonna tell this man that his son needs him because y'all not gonna play in my face. Play with your mother, don't play with me. Phil really talks to people. And I'm calling him Phil because he ain't getting an Uncle Phil title right now because he acting like Phil. Just plain old Phil. Just Phil. Phil really be acting like he can tussle. And I hope he knows how to scrap. Word to Snowfall and Uncle Jerome. Y'all teach these young boys how to scrap. Teach your mans how to scrap. If y'all know what I'm talking about, go watch Snowfall. That was hilarious. But yeah, he really act like he want to tussle. And I hope he got hands because the way he talk to people is the way that you talk if you're Mike Tyson. Are you Mike Tyson, Uncle Phil? Are you Mike Tyson? Because I don't think you're Mike Tyson. I could be wrong, but I feel like I'm not. I could be, but I'm not. Yeah, damn. Phil, you got Will's daddy put away? You got Will's daddy put away? You the bad lawyer? But you rich, but his daddy got put away? Bingo, bingo, bingo. Aunt Viv got it. Aunt Viv got it. Whose right is it to decide if Will meets his father or not? Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's still his daddy, and you need to give him that option because finding out that you guys knew and he didn't will only end wrong for you. And here we go because, boy, whose house you yelling in? Sir, my mother would drop kick me in the throat. That's abuse. She would drop kick me in the throat yelling in her goddamn house like that. And once again, Marlon really doesn't get the flowers he deserves because this is one hell of a scene. This is one hell of a scene. And also, what's with the parent who didn't raise you trying to tell you about the parent that did? Did he just call that man a... Did he just call his daddy a... He just called his daddy a... He did that. We'll really be out here taking risks. But I understand the sentiment. Boy, do I understand the feeling of that parent who did not take care of you, bucking like you're supposed to act a certain way just because they donated something to your existence into the world. I've had this conversation around the same age, and sometimes you really just gotta let people live in their delusions because people be delusional, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. It doesn't seem like Will going to be asking this man why he don't want me. Why doesn't my dad want me? He don't care. He said, remember that scene? Why you don't want me, man? Why you don't want me? Oh, he is not asking him questions. He said, get your ass up out of here, bro. I am sorry for the profanity, but Bel Air started it and I finished it. That's just where we're at. Oh, it's me loving Carlton. And y'all got to give me my props because y'all was coming for me talking about Carlton is trash. Carlton is this, Carlton is that. But I saw the good in him and he just slipped his good money right into his cousin's pocket. Not like a cousin. And see, scenes like this get me misty-eyed. I'm not the type of person to cry at a sad scene. I just be looking at people like, why everybody crying? But scenes where people are looking out for each other and knowing that you're not alone in this world, you know, it gets me misty-eyed. Y'all know how I feel about family. Family, tribe, and friends. Like, gets me going. Also, I have a question. How you gonna leave in the car that your aunt and uncle let you use? Sir, aren't you running away? Aren't you leaving? That means you leave with what you came with. And you didn't come with that car. You didn't come with that car. But I'm gonna let it go. So this episode should really be called The Lies in Candy's voice, because Uncle Phil just lies like he breathes. He breathe and lie. Breathe and lie, lie and breathe. It's all the same to him because a lie just comes out his breath like it's nothing. Just lie and breathe. And also, Ashley with the nonchalant Negro, you lying? Dad, we know. Dad, we know about Jeffrey. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth or don't say nothing because your lies is catching up, bruh. Yeah. It really is the soft spot that I have in my heart for Carlton. Like I always say my kryptonite is my heart. But don't worry about me because my crazy be out here overprotecting it. Like, you think her aunt? You think her heart? You think her heart? It's fine. So that is my TV review. That is the last one that you probably will be hearing for a while. I'll tell you what I'm listening to. I'll tell you what I'm watching. I'll tell you all those good things. But as far as TV reviews on the podcast, I don't think that that's how that's going to be going for us. But I don't mind writing them here or there. I have to decide. I have to decide what I want to cover because I do watch a lot of different things, although I don't talk about them on this podcast. Like I love All American Homecoming. That's my show. I love All American. We all know I watch Grey's and Station 19 and Snowfall. I watch a lot of things. But I'll tell you what I'm watching and we can talk about it in the comments, but I don't know if I will be reviewing anything. Like it just has to move me because it's a lot to try to stay on topic, in pocket, and kind of read notes because I'm trying to remember what happened during the episode. So that's where we're at. So moving into another topic, and I kind of touched on this earlier when we were talking about, you know, not speaking nevers over anybody's life or not letting anybody speak nevers over your life. But what I do want to say is there are a lot of people out here doing the same things. A lot of us are doing the same things. A lot of people are doing podcasting. A lot of people are content creators and writers. And I'm just listening to things that I am. I don't know what you are. I'm not a chef. A lot of people are chefs and hairstylists and nail techs, and everybody's bringing their own personal self to their own personal stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. There are people that just see what other people are doing and they just try to steal it. But stop. Stop thinking everybody is trying to be you. It is okay to be inspired, but don't try to Mighty Morphin Power Ranger into the person who inspired you. Let me say that from the other end of it. And it's okay to think that somebody's inspired by you, but give that person more credit of that they have to show with their own thoughts, their own cadence of things, their own self. And inspiration does not mean copying. Like, social media got y'all effed up. And I hate to keep saying social media has y'all effed up because a lot of things I do are on social media, but it really does. Like, people out here thinking that they are Queen Elizabeth, Queen Bey. Like, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Like, we might have liked something, but ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. And that is why I truly enjoy liking the content of other content creators and giving people their props and reposting things, even if people don't post me, because I don't like things and support people looking for something. I like things and support people because I know how hard it is. So if it's something dope, I promise you it don't take nothing away from me to like your stuff. If you like mine, sure. If not, sure too. I have a tribe. I tend to build tribes. I tend to invite people into my circle. And also, shout out to my coworker if you're listening, like, you a real one. You know, people willing to help and people that I'm also willing to help. So, did y'all listen to Arlene's interview last week and the week before, speaking of people willing to help and share information? And she shared great information on and off the mic about starting a business and the hindrances and the triumphs and all the things that go into being an entrepreneur. So check that out. I think that's great content. Also, I just like to take this time, since I'm on camera as well, to thank all the people who let me interview them and the people who are going to let me interview them. Once again, shout out to my coworker. All the people who let me interview them. That's Courtney, Kiara, Arlene. Am I leaving somebody out? I hope not. If I'm leaving you out, I'm sorry. And if I do leave you out, I'll just correct myself on social media or in the comments or in the description of the podcast. But thank you all for sharing your insights on dating, relationships, hobbies, businesses, being a woman, being a Black woman, just showing up in this world. I really appreciate you all lending your time, your minds, and your sentiments to my audience and to myself. We talk about this often, so I won't say if you don't know. We talk about me being a journalist often, and I always will be. So whenever I get the chance to interview somebody or to write a topic with some background and some research. If you haven't read one of my blog posts talking about there's Black people in Boston, that was a more journalistic blog post. Actually, it was just a journalistic story of research and background and a little bit of opinion as well. So I'm always excited when I get to flex my journalism muscles, because we all know I love being a writer. And when I look at some of the people who are doing well as writers and content creators, and they don't have to show photos of themselves or, rely on people seeing them, but they are able to rely on their words and what they contribute to the culture, I aspire to that. So I hope one day that I'm able to do that. So if I do say something during my podcast that really gets the people going, Sherelle, what? Girl. If I do say something on my podcast that you enjoy and you feel is quotable, post it, attribute it to me, and that is just how I will move into the spaces that I really want to be in. But until then, I will continue to work and continue to bring y'all this content for 18 cents. Nope, I made more than 18 cents this week. I did. We're not gonna talk about how much it was, but it was more than 18 cents. It was. Oh, guys, you know what I thought about? No, you don't know what I thought about because I haven't told you yet. But you know what I thought about? When I started this podcast, I feel like I had a more positive outlook on dating. And as the weeks have gone on and I've gone on different dates and different things have happened, I have said the most outrageous stuff about dating. Not really outrageous, but I just said some things about dating that I feel like aren't true on this podcast. I really have to stop saying that there's piss in the dating pool, because the truth is, I'm the one who keeps going to the community pool that has piss in it when I have full access to the country club and sports club with a heated pool and no piss in it. Girl, you got access to a saltwater pool. You the one in the pissy pool. I think I just want to say pissy pool. But I thought about that because I'm like, you attract what you think you're supposed to attract. Also, I don't go outside a lot. But there's not piss. Well, okay. There is piss in the dating pool. It's absolutely piss in the dating pool. But there are other pools. There are pools with things that I am looking for. And I am going to try harder to be more positive about dating and sharing the good stories too. I think I shared the effed up stories with you guys because they're funny. Because I'm like, how did you get here? I'm not supposed to be here. But as I date more, because it's about to be a hot girl summer. It's not going to be a hot girl summer. Sit your ass down. It's going to be a warm girl summer. I saw that online somewhere and I was like, I can relate. But it's about to be summertime. People outside. We outside. So hopefully the dating gets a little spicy. So I look forward to that. But I definitely said I have to stop saying there's piss in the dating pool, because, man, if you want to keep going to the broken down community pool with the broken fence that people just hop in to get into the pool and piss in the pool instead of going to the country club, that's on you. That's on you. Talk about your pool. Don't be talking about everybody else's pool. So today is a shorter episode than typical, and I think that's because I am on camera. Having to look up at the camera and having to be cognizant of my recording is new for me. So I don't know if I'll do this again, but I felt like I owed you guys content, and we're in the second quarter of the year, and we doing second quarter things. We pivoted. We looking at our marketing dollars and figuring out what we want to market. I will do the photo shoot so that you will get new photos on the website and photos on my social media. Although I have a lot of photos of other things. It's time to step into the professional realm. I have a lot of things that I am looking into for Shea Iconic as a business. And I say just stick around. Stick around and see how we grow and show and all those things. So once again, I'm so happy that you are here. If you want more content throughout the week, I promise I will start posting again. You can find me on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at ShayIconic.com, on YouTube at Shea Iconic Music, and on Snapchat at Shea Iconic C. Until next time, happy Friday.